Hey bro, no cap. I planned on making a video today or a skit, but I feel like this is more needed, and I I don't know who it's gonna hit. I don't know who it's gonna help, but hopefully you see the message behind it and not get too offended. If you do, that's on you. But the main basis of this video is because I seen the other day a YouTube short of no, a YouTube video actually, and it was this dude saying about how the hip hop is shaping like black people's mindset about what culture is, and the one thing I really hate about it is that hip hop culture is really some fictitious little characterized thing that black people are taking into their daily lives, like niggas trying to be thugs and wearing 13 chains at work, like. Bro, that's not necessary. That's not even you, bro. Don't do all that. It's not your personality. That's what white people at labels have told you that you like, because that's all the artists that they allow to play on the radio. All the artists they allow to let you listen to is people that are killing, smoking dope, having sex a million times in a week, and they show you the money they're getting behind it, and you think that's success and what success looks like. You overlook all these lines about people being mentally tore up and taking pills and being out of their mind crazy all the time. And some people are even starting to take that route, like starting to take on the aspects of becoming like junkies and druggies based on what hip hop has told them is okay and what the media said is cool. And realistically, bro, my whole point of being on here is to try to bring people closer to God. But I've realized that I'm never gonna bring people closer to God until you have the moral standing to understand, like, your right is not right, and what God says right is correct. For you to think like, the whole point of me making this video was I saw a little girl dancing to a Sexy Red song uh, at her birthday. Like she was turning like 3, bro, and it was a room of little girls, and then all like basically twerking on the microphone, like doing karaoke and stuff. So it's like, bro, I hate that we I hate that we as black people have bought into the over sexualized culture, like from like everything that comes out is over sexualized as heck. Like everything is always something sexual into it, bro. It's never point. Like I was just telling somebody the other day, bro. I'm going to make movies and I'm not going to write sex scenes into them, and they just wasn't feeling it. And I was like, bro, I don't really see the effect of like why they got to be 12 sex scenes in one movie. Like, it's okay. We know sex is a thing, bro. Unfortunately, people are gonna keep having sex outside of marriage, and that's a moral understanding that they gotta grow to understand celibacy. So I wouldn't just say, even though that's right, I wouldn't just say, hey, you know, I wouldn't expect everybody to be doing it right now, because you got to get to that level. Basically, there's levels to it. You don't just drag a fish out the water. You got to slowly bring it up, or the fish gonna die before you come to the surface. And I heard that from Tim Ross. But basically what I'm saying is, to allow your kids to dance at a party, bro, and twerking to somebody's songs, like, I can understand you may be in your 20s, or you may be well enough grown, and you may know what it's like to raise a child. Honestly, I don't know what it's like to raise a child, but I do know that what you give to your kids when they're young, they will not depart from that. Once you start allowing things like this to fester and grow, and, oh, my mama cool with this, and all the other little girls are doing this too, people are going to start having kids younger. They're going to start experiencing their body younger, because those actions and motions, like twerking, for instance, is something you see your mama doing. And, it's something that we see older women in the society doing. And now you do it too, because, it's just will look cool, and you still trying to figure out your identity as a little kid. The fact is that that's going to be exploited. Like, people aren't nice enough to let someone pass and learn through that phase. There are predators. There are people who come after children. There are people that unfortunately prey on little girls like that, bro. And that's not something cool, or that I ever say that, I wish that on anybody. Me myself, I was molested at a young age, and I wasn't doing this, bro. So I'm just saying, like, we're putting our kids in a bad situation if what we got to teach them is, bend it over, let it breathe. Like, I mean, I get the trendy songs and you just making TikToks or whatever, but you have to realize that what you're giving this child is going to stick with them. And if you don't show them no moral standard, they're going to go into this world thinking it's no standard to nothing. Nothing. They're going to have to learn the hard way. And as a parent, you're supposed to carry on whatever you learn here in your life to the next generation. And they're supposed to carry that on to the next generation. And you're supposed to build foundation. Honestly, that's how white people have gotten to a place where they are, because one thing they do is pass on the information, even if it's something that is causing other people to take a bad end on it, or, it's destroying other races, and they get to live at a higher level because they're taking advantage of an exploitative system. They're passing on information. And that's the reason why people always say generational wealth. No, we need generational knowledge, bro. We need generational foundation that says, this is how you go about your life. This is how you get to this level. And it can't be twerking at your birthday party at 3 or 4. It can't be that. Or that's what you're going to be. You're going to be a baby mama, bro. You're going to be a baby mama in the hood. And you're gonna get knocked up by somebody who listening to like some Lil Durk or Lil Baby, or somebody who's saying they smashing 13 females a week and not care. And it goes for both ways. It's not even just females, it's dudes as well, bro. Like, you're gonna have kids. Kids not even really worried about like the stereotypical dreams of like playing sports at this point. They worried about looking fly, selling drugs if need be, because at this point, the dudes in their ears telling them it's by any means necessary, bro. Like, you can get it, however, as long as you rich, it don't matter how you get it. It don't matter what you did to get there. It don't matter if you stuck up and robbed your granny. Like, as long as you got some money to flash, as long as you got a couple females, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think we all think especially in the black community, we all think is in the spur of the moment. Like, we always like this. And I can't even just blame just black people, but I am black, so this is who I come to first with the charge of changing, like, our moral standard. Is we listen to all these D-boys and all these OnlyFans models and whatever people are doing, bro, and we say they're role models. Like, come on, man. I can understand you liking some music, even if it's not good for you. But to make somebody a role model that they don't really have no standing because of money, just because they have a couple dollars, bro, that don't really amount to nothing. You can't live your life based off of how somebody rich living, because if they already got some money behind them, they can act a fool, because at this point, they're getting paid to have no morals. You don't have that luxury, and neither should you want it, because it's only a luxury here. You have to understand that you have to create your own path, and don't fall into these victimized traps where it's like you can be whatever you want to be, no matter how bad it is. Like, that's the kind of situation we're falling into. It used to be you could be whatever you wanted to be, no matter how high a level of life it is. And people not even obtaining that no more. They just wanting to basically, life has gotten so bad, I feel like we just settle for the joys of right now. Like, nobody is really trying to reach and attain nothing much more. And I understand the culture and the economical, like, downfalls and things, like, really weighing on your brain. Like, bro, I just went homeless, so I can understand what it means. Like, I'm living on somebody's floor, and I'm dead serious. Like, I understand what you can go through mentally from how hard life is, bro. But still, a moral, how you live your life, you got to come to God with that at the end of the day. Like, even if you listen to rappers who mention Christ and stuff, they're not living about Christ if you praying to Jesus one night and the next night you blasting your op. You're not loving Christ, because Christ says to love your neighbors, bro. People are killing their next door neighbors and saying they love Jesus, and you sitting there letting that come into your mind and thinking that's cool. It's not. So, bro, I just want to keep focusing on letting us get back to a good moral standing so that we understand what God says in the Bible is not evil, and we turn back to him, bro. Like we got to get off of these fictitious characters that these rap stars and all these social media people, majority of people, they're putting on a facade when they come online. You don't see behind the curtain. You don't see behind their life because they're not really like that. They have to come on here and pretend. They're playing dress up and pretending for you, and you're falling for a hook, line, and sinker. You let somebody dance around and jump and make some trendy beat music to you, and you take in everything they say. You just digest whatever they say without picking it apart and what this does and what this means in our life. Bro, do you know when people go to war, they play music like since the old days, like since Romans and before the Aztecs and all that. And in any battle, they have somebody playing a drum. You know what that does? They have a musician, somebody holding the flag and playing the drum. The music, it turns in your mind. The music really ramps up and gets human beings to act differently. Like, you might not even really be about it, but when you hear some really cold music, like, imagine you at war and you ain't really want to be. But say, for instance, somebody you know got killed. And, like, you hear some music, bro, like, we finna go to war type music. Bro, you might not be Call of Duty, but you gonna slide on one or two people. Even if you don't, you gonna go out there with a courage in your heart, bro. And that's what you gotta understand, that music does things to you. At the end of the day, it does things to you, whether you notice it or not. It's either leading you closer to God or it's leading you closer to the world. It's no in between with music, bro. When you get inspired, you're either influenced by God or you're influenced by Satan. God is the one who gave people the gifts to create and make music. But if you understand and know the Bible, one of the things that Satan was a part of before his fall in heaven, he was, if not a leader, he was a part of the music that glorified God and the throne. So a lot of this music is still led by a spirit. He's just no longer making or using, he's no longer professing the music to God. He's just professing the music to him and everything to bring humans down. Don't you know that Satan really he despises humans because humans were supposed to be over angelic beings and next to God, there is no one. But Satan, he was top of the order of angels. So before humans, you can't say that he was anything close to God, but in lines of command in heaven, after the Trinity, you probably would see him like in like one of the really top hierarchy of heaven. So really that means he was one of the highest created beings ever, and humans were supposed to rule over him. He didn't want that, so he decided to rebel. And when it failed, he just said, bro, if I can't get God, I'm going to get who you love. So he just said, I'm going to go ahead and try to ruin humans in any way I can. So when you listen to that music, the reason why all that sex, murder, money music is so cool to you is because Satan is in your heart, in your flesh. He know you ain't close to God, so he's just trying to ruin you from the inside out. And when you linger and when you fester on to that music, you gone. You gone, bro. So I'm just saying, like, we got to stop letting it say, oh, it's just a beat. It's not just a beat, bro. You're really being influenced, whether you know about the spiritual world or not, bro. It's literally spirits dancing around to that music in your mind, in your heart. You like that song for a reason. It is beyond a catchy beat. Anybody can, I can tell you this now, anybody can, any song that you ever listen to, anybody can go ahead and flip that song and make another, they could just basically use the beat and remix it or whatever. You're not going to feel the same hit because you attached to that feeling, that nostalgia that you got the first time. That nostalgia is a spirit. You felt it in your spirit. How it made you feel in that moment. How it made you feel when you first heard it. Like, come on, bro. My favorite artists used to be Drake and Tunchi and Future, bro. Like, come on now. I'm listening to Dirty Sprite singing my heart out, so I would know, bro. It's just it's things that you don't understand that are high levels when you just allowing things to happen in life, like the little girls dancing at the parties at 3. You allowing that to happen now. She gonna remember that nostalgia when me and mommy was having a good time. Me and daddy was having a good time with my 3-year-old party. Everybody was lit. We tore the house down. What happened when I was doing that? I was twerking. So I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna feel that nostalgia through twerking. I'm gonna get drunk. I'm gonna twerk. Pray to God nobody molest you or nothing like that. But it's the fact that these situations you're putting your kids in and you don't even realize it, bro, at this young age. At this young age, you 3, and your mama is giving you, your daddy, your parents, they're giving you bad things at a young age. Like, they're giving you bad rituals and cultures and habits so young. You could have been reading stories, bro. You could have been on a bouncy castle. You could have went ice skating. You could have did anything. You could have went and met the Disney princesses. You could have been dancing with the stars. Like, you could have been singing Hannah Montana. Somebody, bro. You could have been watching Chloe and the Little Mermaid. Like, the things that we like are evil, and we're putting it on our kids at a young age. So that's my message, bro. I just want everybody to take a personal look at themselves and see, like, damn, how has my life went? And why would I be passing this on to my kids? That's all, bro. And I hope you get this message. I know it's going to help. Most people ain't going to make it this far. If you do, I love you. And praise God. I just hope you have a better week.